Good morning, Dr. Wyatt, and thanks for being here today. And I want to take an opportunity to ask you 3 or 4 questions. And so I guess the most important question is, how do you feel about being named the San Bernardino City Unified School District Board President? And what are some of the things that you're thinking about in terms of moving forward with the district?
Well, Doc, first of all, thank you for having me here. It's a great pleasure to be here with you and work with you. As for being appointed as the board president of San Bernardino City Unified School District, number one, it's an honor. It's a huge honor. But along with that comes a tremendous responsibility. So that's what I look at is, what's the responsibility of the president of the board and what are our duties? And so part of my vision, one, obviously, is to work closely with you and your executive cabinet and the rest of our staff for the school district to ensure that we're meeting the goals of the district and that there's alignment with what the board wants to do and what the district wants to do. So that's first and foremost, because we won't be effective if we don't work together in coherence. Mm-hmm. We've always said before on the board that when the board and the superintendent and executive cabinet works together, anything is accomplishable. We can accomplish anything together.
So in thinking about moving forward, what are some of those core or key priorities that you think we should be focusing on to ensure that students are going to be or are academically successful?
Well, I think we all know right now during this pandemic, safety is our number one concern, right? We want to ensure that our staff, our students, our families are safe. Nobody's going to be able to learn or teach well when they come to school with a high level of anxiety and they don't feel safe. So the board, that's been a top priority. It's been a top priority since the beginning of this pandemic, and we want to ensure that moving forward that our students and staff and families feel safe. Okay, because then when you talk about mental health or mental wellness, if our students and our staff are not mentally well or mentally healthy, that's going to impact them in many, adverse ways. So, that's one of the main goals that we have just before we could even start working on the other issues. Obviously, we need to increase academic success of our students. We know that reading, English language arts, and math, our test scores haven't been where we'd like them to be. And I know you have a vision and a plan for addressing that so we can move the dial from where we're at and see progression with our students over the next 3 to 4 years with you as our superintendent, and hopefully with me as the board president. Beyond that, one of our mantras is making sure that our kids, our students, are college and career ready. Okay, and so what does that mean? Obviously, we want to see as many of our students graduate with A through G qualifications so that if they want to apply to a Cal State or a UC college, that they'll have a high percentage of being accepted into the colleges, so that's huge. And even for students that maybe aren't ready for that particular level of college, A through G, we want to make sure that they have a clear pathway and transition to one of our community colleges or some of our trade schools, maybe the military, or it could be directly into the workforce through one of our career pathways. We have a number of different career pathways that are outstanding that can take our students through a 3 or 4 year pathway, and when they graduate from here, have the industry level certifications that can give them employability right when they graduate.
And so, thinking about in terms of our executive leadership team, what can we do to help the board move forward in terms of focusing on those goals that you just shared and talked about?
Working together as a team, number one. And usually, how is that successful? It's through clear communication. Mm-hmm. We've talked about it on the board, on the dais, even with our community, with the district, with you and the executive cabinet about multiple forms of communication. It's important that there's consistency with the message that's being delivered. So every board member gets the same message. And so we align with what it is that your goal is, or the executive cabinet's goals are in our common mission. So that clear communication is key. From there, alignment of our goals with our strategic plan and our service delivery model, our multi-tiered systems of support delivery model. Having the board in support of that, and also with the alignment of the goals of the district. That's going to be key. And so clear communication about that plan to us as well. So we know what that plan means. We know what the steps of that plan are, so we can help support you in that mission again.
Yeah, my final question would be is what do you want parents to know about the role of the Board of Education, or what do you want parents to know about the Board of Education in general?
Number one, especially for me, we should love our students, love our city, love our community, right? Because that's what it should all start with, is just that sense of community, unity, and love amongst one another. But I know each and every one of us cares about kids, wants the best for them, wants to keep them safe, wants to ensure they're successful into their transition into an adult life. So that's huge. We also want to have equitable representation of our district. We have it on our board as well. And what does that mean? Obviously for our employees, our staff, to emulate who our community is. Okay, I know years ago we didn't see that as much, but the district has made a really concerted effort on working and recruiting staff of color and staff that have different backgrounds, and that has been huge in regards to mirroring and emulating our community. So that's an important goal for us as well, is to represent our community.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time.
All right, thank you, Superintendent Ervin. I'm confident by working together we'll accomplish our goals.
Yeah, thank you.